Hello, people, and welcome to another edition of yours truly, Josiah Willis, here today with another reaction. Let's go right ahead and get back to it. Back to my fellow YouTuber multi-channel reaction series. Today we have my guy, Assemble Wrestling. Yes, right. That's right. He's back. He's reoccurring. He's reprising his role onto this channel, okay? That's right. We got another video on the way, probably on the same day to release this as well. So yeah, the first of these videos are called, well, this one right here. It's called What Could WWE WrestleMania Main Event Actually Be? All right. I have no idea. To this day, I still do not have an idea as to what WrestleMania 41 this year will look like. What we do know is that it will be in Las Vegas. The dates are April 19th, April 20th, so that's much later in the month of April, which is funny to me because WWE usually do their pay-per-views a little bit early to be expected. So like sometimes it'd be like early March, maybe mid-March, late March. But they've been doing back-to-back April for WrestleMania for the most part. So yeah, bro, we got that. WrestleMania is on its way. It'll be here. Travis Scott got a song. Fiend. That song is been played like crazy because of the whole entire motion for Las Vegas. So yeah, there's that. We'll see what they're gonna cook. I'm curious as to what my guys want to point out here. As you guys know, I go about whether I agree, whether I disagree, and I'll tell you why in between pauses, or maybe even after the pauses when we get towards the end of the video. Oh, there we go. I recovered. Great. Anyways, let's go right here and get into my shtips. Okay, now let's get into the proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, please do me a quick favor, and that is to like, comment, subscribe, and views. Put your minds out there. The link of this video will be down in my description below. This is my guy, Assemble Wrestling. What could WWE WrestleMania main event actually look like? See. All right. You already know I give it up. After the video, I give you my final thoughts, period, with these. And yes, you guys, I do have two other YouTube channels. One is called the King Life Podcast alongside my good friend and fellow co-host Anthony Lombardo, and the other is called the Live Outlet, LYVE space outlet, alongside my other good friends, Rail, Ebony, Beezy. We talk that talk, listen in, and pick up some gems. Enough talking. Let's get into this reaction. All right. You guys ready? I'm ready. This is why I have my speaker right here. Okay.
Let me talk to him.
I have no idea. Oh, this is new. Is this literally his new intro? That's fire. Give me 1 second, you guys, because I think my.
Let me talk to him.
Oh, he's nice. I love it.
Everybody assemble Max. Let's get into all the questions.
Max,
here. Talk to ya. First one is coming in from Luchin Links.
By the way, shout out to Max. Let me talk to you.
To assemble, I'm Max. Let's get into all of your questions here. Let me talk to ya. First one is coming in from Luchin Links. Any glasses? It says, should John Cena win the Royal Rumble?
Okay.
Face Gunther and win? No.
This is okay. Yep, Wi-Fi is already becoming a pain. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Luckily, I have patience. All right, so here we go.
Talk to ya. First one is coming in from Luchin Links. Any glasses? It says, should John Cena win the Royal Rumble?
Okay.
Face Gunther and win? No.
What is this? So I'm going to turn my speaker off. Obviously, you won't be able to hear me talk or anything like that, but just bear with me, okay? Here we go. All right, so I don't even know why I'm asking you guys. It's not like I'm live with doing this stuff, but it's okay. Maybe one of these days I'll go live doing this. But yeah, here we go. Take it right back. We're gonna play from the very beginning so we can make sure that this video is coming out really, really clear as it possibly can be coming out clear. Oh my gosh.
Let me talk to him.
Yep, here it goes.
Hey everybody, welcome to Assemble. I'm Max. Let's get into all of your questions here.
Are you kidding me, bro? Oh my gosh. Are you freaking kidding me? Okay. Just try and watch the video, man.
Let me talk to him.
Why you gotta be such a pain?
Hey everybody, welcome to Assemble. I'm Max. Let's get into all things. I need glasses. It says, should John Cena win the Royal Rumble and face Gunther and win? No. I think John's story, he's going to finish his story, and it's actually going to be against Cody Rhodes. It seems right now, anyways, for the landscape. We'll see what happens at the Rumble itself. John wins. I really think that he is going to face Cody. Does he win against Cody? That's a big question mark. I feel like maybe not. And John's whole story.
Honestly, I'm okay if WWE decides to pivot and go, we're going to go Cody versus John Cena for WrestleMania for this year. At the same time, I do think that if this is John Cena's official last WrestleMania match, I can't see or like picture John's last match being against Cody Rhodes for a WrestleMania. That seems more like WWE wants to do a match between Cody and Cena maybe sometime later this year. I don't know if you go and pull a trigger with that and have that happen at WrestleMania, only because, again, this is John Cena's like last year as an active professional wrestler. So within his farewell tour, I would go, for me, I'm okay with John Cena going after Randy. I would love to see Cena versus Randy for the last time. I would love to see Cena versus Gunther actually for the world title. I wouldn't mind that. At the same time, I understand people going, well, you have Gunther beat Cena. It kind of like hurts John's credibility at WrestleMania, but John's great. I think John wouldn't mind putting over Gunther. He's very selfless, very, very giving. Wayne wants to be, obviously, because some people want to, give him that claim that he's a guy who buries everybody. But anyways, I don't picture Cena going after Cody. Actually, I think Cody should do Rock or Roman. If you want to do the three-peat, that's fine too. Three-way, I don't want to see a three-way. I don't want to see a four-way or five-way. I just want to see a clear one-on-one match between Cody Rhodes and whoever. I would be actually more fine with having seen. My top 3 picks for WrestleMania for Cody Rhodes, because I believe WWE wants some main event for WrestleMania this year, is you give us Cody versus either Rock, Randy, or Roman. I don't want to see Cena. I don't mind seeing Cena at some point later down the line, but for Cena's last match to be against Cody at WrestleMania, I don't know. I don't know about that, but that's just me.
Because John's got a whole year ahead of him, right? I think that he could lose potentially at Mania, like SummerSlam or something, to finish his story.
Taking risks. So you guys don't see on my screen, but Wi-Fi. Okay, now Wi-Fi immediately disappears as soon as I come back. Great, cool.
Ahead of him, right? I think that he could lose potentially at Mania and pick up the title at SummerSlam or something to finish his story, so that you have a nice big story thread. Cody retains. I don't know how interesting that would be, but I want Cena versus Gunther. It's really good. It would be an excellent chop fest match. I would like to see it, except for Gunther has cooled off, and it's the world title. Cody's title is the title. John's going for that. Tom Clancy says, do you like AEW? Yes, I like elements of AEW. I watched AEW since the beginning. I still watch Dynamite every single week. It's it's so hit and miss for me, to be honest. Like, I'll catch highlights of Collision. I will not very much anymore. I don't really buy the pay-per-views for them anymore because I'm just like, I don't know. There's not enough intrigue in there. I'll see like stuff online. And Dynamite, like I said, I will try.
To be fair, I've been an AEW fan since 2019. Went to an AEW show back in 2023, February 1st. I'll never forget it. Got the chance to see the Acclaim, John Moxley in my hometown of Ohio. Obviously, they were in Dayton, so I didn't necessarily go to Cincinnati. It's been a minute. I haven't been to a wrestling show since, like for a wrestling show for WWE. I haven't been there. I haven't been to WWE since March of 2013. So that's roughly what 14? No, not 14. That's about 15, 16 years ago. So yeah, bro. Just trying my best to come around to it again, and hopefully WWE is coming to Cincinnati. I wish I would have got my tickets a lot sooner. But doing it later right now is just kind of like, I don't know. But speaking of that, of AEW, I am at some point planning to do an AEW like post show review. I love elements to his point. To his point, there are elements where you can like AEW. I think the problem with AEW and his point is what he just said. There's not a lot of intrigue. There's not a lot of buzz for people to want to tune into an AEW wrestling show. And that's unfortunate because they have great talent. The problem is Tony Khan. Tony Khan is the booking. His booking with AEW has been a lot of hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But he's not focusing on how to draw in viewers. Rather, he focusing on him being a fan of professional wrestling, which again is not necessarily a bad problem. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of pro wrestling. Okay, guys, everybody's a fan. If you're not a mark, you're everybody's a mark. Okay, period. The problem with Tony Khan, however, is that he's so much of a fan that he focuses on producing great wrestling. He's giving you dream matches every single week to the point where they don't mean anything no more. And he's not focusing on storylines. He's not focusing on things that can, again, why should I want to tune into Dynamite every single week? Why should I want to tune into Rampage, Collision, your pay-per-views? Your pay-per-views are doing a whole lot more. That's the thing about AEW. They're doing a great job hanging on by a thread when it comes to their pay-per-views. But they need to do a better job of going, why, as a wrestling fan, should I tune into AEW? The storyline they got with John Moxley, to me, isn't necessarily all that bad, but it isn't going anywhere. Where are we going? Okay, Moxley's taking over AEW. Why? He's taking over AEW. All right, we're seeing C's as to why he's doing it, but we're not getting enough to know why. You see what I'm saying? So we need more clarity as to where they're trying to go with the storyline. And they need some big get up because right about now, WWE is kicking them in the butt. I love AEW. Do not get me wrong. The talent there are tremendous. It is not the talent's fault. I just strongly believe it has something to do with the career direction. If the career direction can improve, WWE and AEW will both shine on both fronts. I don't want to do this thing where, get AEW out of the picture. They suck. They're trash. No, they don't. They clearly have talent. They clearly have people who can talk, and they clearly have people who can carry a storyline. They just need to focus on doing more of that instead of just let's produce great wrestling. Great wrestling can only get you so far. We get that, but yeah.
Try to get through Hangman and Swerve.
If the Wi-Fi kick back in, right now it's got one bar. There we go.
There's not enough intrigue in there. I'll see like stuff online. And Dynamite, like I said, I will try to get through every single week. There's some stuff I do like Hangman and Swerve. I like the Lashley's in there with Shelton, MVP, Ricochet as a heel with the scissors and the staff. There's stuff in AEW where I'm like, man, this is awesome. Do more of this. Tony
Right.
Storm, she's going like where she's got amnesia, basically.
With QuickBooks, solo.
Oh, thank you, ads. Not only do you interrupt the time I'm trying to listen to my guy Max talk, Wi-Fi is also causing me problems. So we're going to go right here and let the ad come through. If you see a glitch, it's because of this. All right. Are we back with yeah, we are back with Matt. Is it Matt or Max? I'm gonna have to watch it back to read though.
Amnesia, basically, and she's reverting her character back. There's great elements in there, but there's also stuff I'm just like, I can't, man. I just can't. Jamie Wright says, how do you feel about these colored mats in the ring now? Kind of looks like they're wrestling on carpet. It does, especially SmackDown. I just watched SmackDown from the other day. The straight up blue with no advertising on it, it does look like they're just on like a felt carpet. I know a lot of people will say, well, I got big problems with, having the black mat on Raw and all of the advertisements. I actually don't care all that much. That doesn't bother me. Some people feel like it's distracting. I don't notice it. As long as the wrestling's good in the ring, I'm not really focused on what's on the mat. The SmackDown one, hey, it stands out. Do I hate it? No. I wonder if SmackDown is going to start getting the advertising or not. Maybe not because they're on USA. I'm not sure how that works, but it does look a little bit like they're on a carpet. It doesn't bother me that much. As long as the colors contrast. Like, I'm a big stickler for the production stuff for SmackDown, Raw. As long as it looks nice. I'm cool with it. Qatar, ladies and
So clearly, this video is based around people who have hit him up on social media and give him questions, basically like a Q&A. So this is a Q&A video. Okay, so I was thinking it's more of him trying to hone in the title, but basically we're going to get towards that, I think, maybe later in the video.
gentlemen, Kadar is a fantastic member of the community. He's been here since day one. Hi, Kadar. Do you think WWE will stop having Hogan make appearances, brother? I added the brother on TV because of the crowd reactions and just have him do backstage stuff like helping out the younger talent? No and no. I don't think Hogan's helping out younger talent. I don't think he can. He can't walk, and I don't think he has much to offer nowadays to talent. And I think there's too much stigma and its association with Hulk Hogan, like all his stuff, not only his political stuff, but like being a flat out public racist. Is just no. I don't know why I know why WWE brought him out for Netflix. I get it. He's part of WWE's history, and the thinking is probably on WWE's end. Maybe it's innocent enough where they're like, hey, we got all these legends like Taker, who's going to do a lap around on his bicycle, and you got Hogan, and Jimmy Hart, and others. We're going to have them all here for this big show. Yay. You got to know that Hogan is not okay anymore. Like, just bow out. Goodbye. We've had all of our Hulk Hogan film, brother. We don't need it anymore. And then hear rumblings of like, oh, he's going to show up at Saturday Night's main event. He's going to be a heel. No. Just say goodbye.
Right.
You've had your moment. You had the 80s. You had the run in the 90s with NWO. Goodbye. Like, we're done. I don't need it. Cody says, we know that WWE is not going to give the women their own show. True. But with 3 hours...
Yo, you've had your moments. You've had the 80s. You've had the 90s. Bye. Yo. Oh, bro. Poor Hogan. Oh, man. I had to talk with my homeboy, Beezy, bro. We talked about Hogan, bro. We broke it down. I'm not going to get into what we all had shared or what we conversated about, but he'll probably put it out there, you know what I'm saying? If you go and check out his channel, look up official Just Call Me Monte page. Just type that in on YouTube. Official Just Call Me Monte, Just Call Me Monte with no T, just put just as in JUS. You'll find him, and he has this thing now where he's coming up with these called the conversations with heroes and friends, and he's doing that thing. So shout out to my boy for doing that. But yeah, Hogan, he got booed so bad last week. I remember we all talked about Hogan showing up for Raw. Me, him, and my homeboy Swoop, bro, we just dogged. It's funny, we were dogging Hogan way before the thing popped off. So like, and I think I even came across a post where old Shea Jackson Jr., that's Ice Cube's son for those that don't know, literally came with he literally tweeted that he basically was not shocked about the fact that everybody in LA was booing Hogan out the building. They said they don't rock with Hogan. He was saying like after all this you've been putting through, and then O'Shea was saying basically like we ain't forgot about what you said back in 2014. If you guys know what happened in 2014, there was a situation involving Hogan and I want to say his daughter, and his daughter at the time I believe was dating a black man. and Hogan, I guess it was leaked that he said some very, disrespectful, hateful. Probably even hateful. You know, what I'm saying, if you want to call it that. Remarks towards the guy and call him out and said the N word and all that jazz. I'm not gonna get into all that. If you know, you know. But WWE, it was so bad. WWE, I think they ended up like removing him from the Hall of Fame page and some other different things they were trying to do. They took him off of wrestling games. They took him off of merchandise sales. It was crazy. Like, yeah, he messed up very, very bad. And then what makes matters worse is that, like last year, when it comes to the presidential. By the way, I don't get politics. I don't. I'm sorry. I just can't. I'm trying for life of me to really, immerse myself into it. I only know so much to where I can comment on. Right. With that said, a lot of people were not for Hogan when it came to him supporting Trump. It's funny though. He supported Trump. Y'all forget the Undertaker literally gave his support to Trump as well. But yeah, I'm just saying, Taker didn't get no hate, what I'm saying, Hogan did. I think also too what also helped Hogan's case is when you watch the Mr. McMahon documentary series, you can literally see Hogan doing some things and what was alleged that Hogan did with Jesse the Body Ventura. I ain't gonna get into all that. If you know, you know. Yeah, that didn't help his case. It made Hogan look bad, especially when Vince McMahon, when it comes to all the allegations and things that happened with him. So, and then now Vince have apparently, gone through with the allegations, and they are since been defunct. They no longer exist, but it still left a big black mark for WWE and for him and for Hogan. So, anyways, let's go right ahead and get back to this. Should a woman get more TV time? Absolutely, I think so, 1,000%.
On Raw and 3 hours SmackDown. Should the WWE give the women at least 1 hour's worth of showtime each show? Javi, I feel like they do in some cases, not always. When they both have Raw and SmackDown 3 hours respectively, especially SmackDown is like this past week, it was fine, but it's very wrestling heavy and light on the storylines. I think that over the course of a 3 hour show, you're getting potentially like almost three hours of wrestling from the 3 hours of wrestling, 1 hour of wrestling from the women. Almost like the fatal four-way they did on SmackDown was awesome. Do more of that. Chelsea Green as U.S. champion, I think, is great. I wonder what her next story is going to be. It's just balance. It's give and take, man. Like you can't have it all men's show all the time. You can't have 6 tags.
I have 12 emails, 30 messages.
I'm in agreement with that. Grammarly, I love you, but nope, take that out. I use Grammarly from time to time with working out on assignments. It's great. The editing tools that it utilizes. It's fire. Anyways, here we go.
Tag team matches on SmackDown, even though they might, and then you can't overlook. Like it's just the balancing game of the stories they want to tell. No, I don't think that they'll get a full dedicated hour. Part of me thinks like they should do stuff like that. I am not a real stickler for like how much time they're getting, as long as it's enough to tell.
Honestly, I'm in agreement with what Matt is saying here. I'm gonna say Max. I think he said Max. Yeah, I'm in agreement with what Max is saying here because if WWE can somehow balance it out in a form, then they're doing very well. I will now. With that said, I do say this, and I still stand by this. I don't care what nobody say. I would love for the and now, granted, people can go, well, they've been given enough. Okay, boom, boom, title to title. You got the tag team belts. Now we got the mid card belts. Now we got the world title belts. Okay, I give you that 1,000%. I give you that. There is a part of me. Just hear me out, you guys. There is a part of me that goes, I would love for WWE to include the idea of giving the woman their own wrestling show. I think that will be extremely fair. And the stories that could be told, that could be told across the board, would help not only benefit some of the women that we're seeing on television, but would help them to get even more over. Imagine 1 week
Battery 80%. Connected to JOSIH.
Let's say the WWE decided to put together their own women's wrestling show strictly for the women. Now, granted, you could say NXT probably has to be, whatever. Still, imagine stars getting over on their own wrestling show to the point where we would actually start seeing how over they would get because they're not featured either entirely enough, or WWE's not doing a great job at telling compelling stories within the women's division. What I mean is this: Zoe Stark could get over by telling a story that's not only realistic to her, but could be very much relatable to the whole entire WWE audience. And I'm picking her because right now I don't think she clearly has a character yet. I think she's just finding her footing as a wrestler on the main roster, which is great because again, only time will tell when she will get towards that next brass ring, when she will grab it and yada yada. Once that happens, we need to see a connection. I don't think the crowd is connected towards Zoe Stark. I don't think the crowd is connected to Shayna Baszler, and I definitely don't think the crowd is connected to Sonya Deville. I think they do a great job. Well, I'll tell you about it. I think somewhat towards Sonya more so than Shayna and Zoe. I think WWE can do a better job of making sure the crowd is connecting with them because when I'm watching the shows, I'm gonna keep real. The crowd was dead. Like the crowd does not make any noise, and we need to see more of that come out for these wrestlers. And I'm not saying they need to be cheered. What I am saying is I like to hear a lot more boos. But I digress. So I like his point. I'm just saying will be my only caveat.
Abdul Mosin says, "Do you think The Rock will show up at Mania? I saw The Rock being nice to Cody. I did too. The tequila, drinking and driving, it was ridiculous." And he says, "I think The Rock is playing a game." He also showed up in NXT to address what happened last night. Yeah, and he goes off on NXT about dorks like me, saying like, "Oh, you're nice to Cody now." Well, dude, you broke the fourth wall. Like you threw kayfabe out the window, and we got nothing to work with anymore. Like he should have done something with Roman. Cody, fine. It just felt like we were all invested in that story of Cody getting beaten down by The Rock, the handshake, the thing in the hand at the night after WrestleMania with The Rock and Cody. I think we're all kind of feeling like, hey, there's a story to be told there that they could leverage. Clearly, they don't want to. Now, they can write anything they want. If they want to turn around in a month and The Rock shows up and just decimates Cody, okay, fine. Then we all kind of forget and we move on. We just go with the story. But the real, I think, miss with all of this is not even teasing something with Roman Reigns. You could say, oh, he did because he came to the ring and he stared at him and he put the Olafal on him. Yeah, but they hugged and they embraced and we had just finished up what he did with Cody. So everything was kind of taken out. I think that was your moment to have Rock come down and play the character final boss. Do what he did. Put the Ulafala on Roman Reigns. Ask for it. Do it. Because Paul Heyman's still staying in their character. He's not like all like smiling and, hugging The Rock. He's like holding it back and then he gives it to The Rock. But Roman had no like trepidation over The Rock at all. Then they hugged and it was over. You needed a moment in there of The Rock really looking at him. And I know he kind of did. He took the glasses off, but you needed that stare down. The ultimate would have been like he turned around after Roman puts up the ones and then Rock turns around, Rock bottom. That's kind of what you wanted to tell people, hey, this is the Mania match. But if they aren't sure about it being a Mania match, I think you could have done a little bit more. And then going out on NXT just felt silly because it was just 10 minutes of Rock shooting off about nothing. Just nothing. Dan says, yo, Matt, how you doing, you crazy, beautiful dummy? Dan, you fantastic.
So, all right, let's talk about that right quick. So, and me and my homeboy, BZ, again, we talked about this constantly and to the point where I won't say constantly, but like just by occasion when wrestling fans like yourself, respectfully, have to say that about what's going on within the current storyline as for what WWE has for The Rock. And I think we're already missing it. I think we're already missing the idea of what they were doing. If you pay attention to The Rock's character, the final boss character, right? The final boss has it's not even just been revealed. We already know. Like back in January when WWE was talking about going to the Netflix and a whole entire deal, then there was this article that came out with TKO where The Rock not only would Dwayne Johnson have complete ownership of The Rock and the character and the likenesses, and just he was able to own. I forget what's the thing, the copyright. He was able to copyright, owned all of his trademarks and get all that done for him, so that he can officially have it for himself. So whatever he says, whatever he does, it's all through him now. It's never through WWE owning it. It's through him having a part of that. So not even a part of it, of just the full extent of it and everything. With that said, the Final Boss character, I love the fact that WWE did what they did on Netflix with The Rock. And again, I get where people are going for, oh, this is confusing. Oh, you're embracing Cody and you're taking shots with Cody and you're putting him on high about how great he did as champion last year. To be honest, Cody's run was, like if you know, you know. Okay. Not that Cody's bad. I don't think Cody's bad as a wrestler. We'll get to that talk if there's a Cody topic video for him to talk about at some point. Anyways, I think the Final Boss character has some internal plans going forward with WWE this year. I don't know what those internal plans may lead to, where they may end up being, whenever it's going to happen. I will love right now for them to go, we're going to get into the direction of Rock versus Roman this year. If we don't get that for the next year in 2026, the WWE still wants to hold off that feud, great. But still, I do think there's something to do with Rock versus Roman. And if it's not, we definitely have to do something with him and Cody. I think it's all by design. I think it's all done on purpose. I think it was meant to throw us out for a loop. It was meant to confuse us. It was meant to complicate things, because WWE is, again, if you go back to Rock's promo on NXT, it's not that he was just shooting off to be shooting off. He actually said something of significance. He said, y'all was complaining to me about how I wasn't being nice to Cody. Then the moment I'm being nice to Cody, y'all want to go back on y'all word. Then he said something that I think we're missing here. He went, I'm thinking, 20 steps ahead. I don't know where that applies, but he said that for a reason. And then he said, I'm going to take you guys on a full ride. And you know what that means. If he's taking us on a full ride, this WrestleMania season is going to be something that's going to be dope, to the point where we built towards it. Oh my gosh, the payoff will be great. So for him to say what he's saying there, Rock is not just doing what he was doing because he just wanted to break kayfabe and not be a heel no more. No, he was breaking kayfabe on purpose. Go back to what Hunter was saying when Hunter did the cold open, when he talked about like the aspect of good guys and bad guys and heels and baby faces, and how wrestling used to be years ago. He did that for a reason, and for Rock to do what he was doing, to dab up the crowd, to be, appealing to the Netflix investors and people who are behind this whole entire deal with Netflix. Think about it. Think about it right here before you go, it doesn't make any sense. I think it's not supposed to make sense right now, but it will in due time.
Human being, how are you? Hope you're fantastic. With SummerSlam going 2 nights this year and Rumble rumored,
when it came time.
Another ad. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna stop pausing at this point in time. I'm just gonna let him talk. Uh-oh.
to 2 nights the next year. Do you agree with the 2 nights for the big PLEs, or should it be just WrestleMania? I'm here for it. You got Mania, Rumble, there's Survivor Series, Money in the Bank as your 4, and SummerSlam. This is 5. So we know we got SummerSlam, we got Mania, obviously. I think Rumble being a 2 night in another year, yes, because then we got men's and women's Rumbles on respective nights. Now, does it turn into the old problem of like, oh, the real main event is on night 2? Nah, it doesn't matter anymore. But there's so many stars, and now we have more title belts and more stories going on. And Triple H likes his 5-match cards. Yes, the demand is there. Like, you go to any of these markets, you're gonna sell out.
True.
If WWE can say, hey, we could do a 2-night Rumble in an arena or stadium, and we could sell it out both nights of 16 to 20,000 people on a Saturday and a Sunday, and we get more matches on the card. We get 5 and 5. Yeah, people are gonna buy it. Tiana Dimples says, or is it Tanya Dimples says, what are your thoughts on the women's division? What changes should be made with their division? How would you book that? That's a whole world, my friends. But what I will say is, I think 2025 they need to do a better job on Raw with expanding the women's division. There's a lot of talent on Raw, but they spent the last year basically only having Liv and Rhea fight each other, and they never mixed it up around the world title scene. I think that really hurt them in the end. Rhea is now your world champion, and I think a lot of sentiment online anyways is, thank goodness this story is over. Can we move on, please? So because of that, you pigeonhole yourself into a corner a little bit of like, well, we only have this story we're working with. We didn't have anything else lined up. So anybody that would kind of show up as a possible contender or challenger to Liv or Rhea, you were kind of thinking, well, they don't matter. They're not really a real contender because this is the main A story. So I think that was a big, big mistake, that they could have used more talent cycled through and make them top contenders. That's why on SmackDown, I really like the WWE Championship, the main division there for those women, because you have 4 or 5 of them mixing it up all the time. You had Nia, you got Tiffany as new champion, you got Bayley, you got Naomi, Bianca's thrown into the mix, Candice LeRae is over there. Like, you have all of these different pieces, and then you have a great fatal 4-way match. So at any given time, you can kind of picture any of them becoming champion and it working for their story that's all interlaced. Raw didn't have that. So I would add more talent and start treating more of them like they're contenders for the world title. Because now you're going into WrestleMania season, Rhea is world champion. I think you're waiting for like whoever surprise entrant Rumble wins and challenges Rhea. That's what it feels like. And then you get after WrestleMania, and what do? You kind of back at the same problem, I think. I got a lot of Hulk Hogan questions in here, by the way. So I will preface, I addressed your reported concerns about Hulk Hogan earlier. And my overall thoughts is no more Hulk Hogan. Hayden says, what will happen to Solo's bloodline now? That is a good question. We're still seeing remnants of them on SmackDown in the tag team match against Cody and Jimmy. Solo comes back next week. I feel that the story now is that they will still all be aligned. Hikuleo is still out there, by the way. He hasn't appeared. You could almost go for a Bloodline 3.0. What I could see happening, and not all in like 1 week, but I think you now start moving forward with Jacob Fatu. Not as like a leader of the bloodline, but just having the allies of Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Jacob Fatu together as a faction, and they basically turn on Solo. It seems like the only obvious choice and thing to do. I don't know if Solo would get anything out of that, though, because then you bring him down. But in story, Solo lost to Lufala. The whole point of the rest of the bloodline, the new ones, being aligned with Solo and having him as their leader was because they thought he is champion and he is, bloodline leader. Well, he's not. Roman is. Roman has Ulafala. So why are these guys in storyline? Why are they following him anymore? They shouldn't. I think that the better story is going to be the breakout 2025 of Jacob Fatu. You have not just
Right, give me one.
he got so much talent. I think you want Jacob Fatu to go loose.
Stop talking, bro. The Wi-Fi was messing you up, bro. We can't do it to you like that. We can't do it to you like that.
As like a leader of the bloodline, but just having the allies of Tama with that though, because then you bring him down. But in story, Solo lost to Lufala. The whole point of the rest of the bloodline, the new ones, being aligned with Solo and having him as their leader was because they thought he is champion and he is, bloodline leader. Well, he's not. Roman is. Roman has Ulafala. So why are these guys in storyline? Why are they following him anymore? They shouldn't. I think that the better story is going to be the breakout 2025 of Jacob Fatu. Because he's doing the I Love Solo, and I think that's great. But Jacob is such a gem, and he's got so much talent. I think you want Jacob Fatu to go loose, and his first big feud would be against Solo, and break it up from there, where he's so dangerous in a different way that Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and maybe Hikuleo align with Jacob, because they're like, we can't, this guy's impossible, he's world beater. Tedo says, do we see Punk versus Cena this year? Yes, absolutely. Don't care if it's for a title, even just a one-off match. Do it at Money in the Bank. The two of them going.
Need inspiration?
I would love to see Punk versus Cena. I'm okay with the Bloodline story going forward. I don't know where they're gonna tell it. My homeboy, Swoop, he thought that would have gone in a different direction with that. If the Bloodline is leading to, I don't know how Soul will get involved with it. I think we might get the Usos versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga for this year at WrestleMania, but who knows? Oops, let me turn the volume back on.
Even just a one-off match, do it at Money in the Bank. The two of them going at it. Either Cena is gonna cross paths with Punk in terms of the title scene, or I think it just happens. Before it's all said and done, you get Punk Cena one more time. And frankly, because I know it's going to be a lot of dream matches for people this whole year for Cena, title wins, breaking the record, and then fighting Randy Orton and fighting maybe Roman Reigns and fighting CM Punk and all these names, plus some other talent that he hasn't faced before. I think you want to kind of revisit, you want to reward fans for that kind of stuff. And I don't need like this bitter rivalry, like the stuff we saw with Punk and Cena back in 2011 or whatever it was. It's different now. And I think you could just have, hey, we got to do this match one more time. You literally just tee it up like Punk just 1 month is like, I know what I need to do, and I'm going to go fight John Cena. I don't care how they build the story, but yes, I think we get it one more time. It's a monster of a match. It could headline any PLE, so why not? Typical Teenager says, Monday Night Raw had 4.9 viewers global wide. What is your thoughts? I think it was like, so for domestic, for US ratings, weren't they doing on USA, they were doing around 1.8 or something like that, and then they doubled it essentially in the US for Netflix, but globally it was almost 5 million. What do I think? I think it's a super shot of the show, of the initial Raw Netflix. The curiosity, the star power of The Rock, Roman, Punk, Seth, all of that, John Cena. It is a giant welcome to WWE show. So they had every bell and whistle out there, and you hit almost 5 mil globally. I don't know if it's as impressive as I thought it would be. I thought they would reach way more for that initial. But got to look at them in the US, and the ratings on average are less than 2 million. If they're going to consistently double that all the time, where it's going to be like 2.5, 3 all the time because it's on Netflix, then they must be happy. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm kind of glad that we're going to be able to move away from ratings conversations. It always leaves me with some curiosity of how the show is doing. But I also want to know, where are we at in 6 to 8 months? You're post WrestleMania. You're into Backlash and bragging rights or whatever the hell else there is. The lull after WrestleMania. I want to know how those Raw episodes will do. If they can maintain that, double viewership or 5 million. I don't think they hit 5 again right away. I think they are going to load up a lot of shows. Like, I think in the coming weeks, we'll probably get Goldberg.
I forgot all about bragging rights. I forgot that was a pay-per-view that WWE had, and that had actually existed at some point in time. I think that was like when they was doing the Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken. That wasn't or was that like a bragging, or was that a match type? I forget. I could have sworn bragging rights was a pay-per-view, but I wonder what was the purpose behind the pay-per-view. Was it Team Raw versus Team SmackDown? Because that's weird, because then you had Survivor Series. Or was it? Yeah, I look more into that, because I could have sworn WWE did have a pay-per-view called bragging rights for sure.
A lot of shows. Like, I think in the coming weeks, we'll probably get Goldberg, whether you like it or not. I think they keep loading up these shows as we go to WrestleMania, and then hopefully they can stay in that ballpark. Oren Farhan says, since the final boss is dead, oh no, what could main event night 2 of WrestleMania? Cody, Cena for the title. You could do that. You could do Punk, Roman. It's probably not for the title, and that could be like night 1, unless you threw Seth in there and he was world champion, and then you have all 3 of them. But I don't see Roman wanting to go after world title. Cena, Cody is probably my first pick for main event night 2. Because here's the thing, and I'll end on this note: if Cena and Cody are going to go at it for the belt and break the record, everyone, I say everybody, but a lot of fans are going to be cheering John Cena. Whether they're like, okay, lukewarm fans of Cena, or they're hardcore fans, they're going to probably cheer it because they like the idea of breaking the record. So yes, that will sell tickets. That's a monster main event. Yay. But if Cena doesn't win night 2 main event against Cody for the title, do you risk that people are going to boo Cody at the end of night 2 of WrestleMania? I don't think you want that. having the disappointment of John didn't pull it off. So like that could be night 1 main event because people go, but then they got night 2 and then they get something cool that happens in the main event. Could be Seth versus Punk for the world title in a rematch. It's hard to say right now, but thank you guys all for submitting your questions and topics for Let Me Talk to You. And by the way, if you made it this far, thank you very much. I do want to say thank you for supporting the channel, hitting subscribe, and liking the videos as we go. We're in the Mania season, and we passed 25,000 subscribers, which is amazing, and that's thanks to all of you for clicking that little button for this dummy right here. We're on the road to 50K, but I appreciate your support and giving the channel a shot. Have a great day. See ya.
Battery 80%. Connected to JOSIH.
Hopefully y'all able to hear the audio that came from my guy over here, but didn't get no chance to really talk over for real. But anyways, I'm gonna just hit play on him and just let that video rock out while I talk over. I'm slightly disappointed in this video because I'm getting tired of, and it's not him. It's not him. It's not actually not Simba Wrestling. Simba Wrestling, by the way, you did your thing, bro. Great job with this video. Love the fact that you answered your questions, the Q&A questions that you was throwing. You answered them pretty thoroughly well. The final boss character is not dead, bro. Like that really got off my dang on nerves, bro. Like The Rock is not done. Like I don't understand what you guys are trying to point out and mean. He's not dead. Like the final boss character is not dead. But he embraced Cody and he gave Roman and Ula follow. And he took them both, and then on NC was still really nice, bro. They got something planned for Rock this year. I don't want like he's not showing up for any particular reason. They got something in store. I tell you you guys what. Since everybody want to be also close to saying the final boss character is dead, if The Rock does not show back up on WWE television within, let's say, I'm gonna give you what we got. We got February, March, April. We got those 3 months because those 3 months are going to lead towards WrestleMania. Technically, January is too. If The Rock cannot show up within about 2-3 months, guess what? I will come right here on this channel, and I will declare the final boss character is dead. Even if it was to be revived again, it probably will be revived again either sometime later this year or probably sometime later in 2026. I don't know. I'm just tired of what you guys are saying because you clearly are missing the point of what is going on with the final boss character. I think Rock has a plan. WWE has a plan. They did it on purpose. They threw you guys for a loop. Why are you guys already giving up and saying, well, we're not going to get Rock versus Cody. We're not going to get Rock versus Roman. How do you know that? How do you know? Just be patient, guys. Be patient. You don't always have to get everything that you want. And granted, as a wrestling fan, I understand having high expectations from time to time. But when it comes to shows like Raw and SmackDown, sometimes you don't always get that. Maybe it's done for pay-per-views. Who's to say he won't show up at Royal Rumble? Okay? Think about that. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please request for more reactions from my guy at Simba Wrestling or YouTuber content creators that are similar. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, again, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, please do me a quick favor again, and that is to like, comment, subscribe, and views. Put your minds out there. The link of this video will be down in my description below. This was my guy, Simba Wrestling. What could WWE WrestleMania main event actually look like or be? I don't know why he told you that way, but whatever. Anyways, if you guys if you guys would like to, feel free to donate a super thanks to help support this channel, as I would like to return the following somehow, some way this year in 2025. And follow me on my social media, from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter to Threads, even, where I'll try my hardest to remain consistently active, giving you guys old reactions, new reactions, while trying my best to stay up to date. King Life, we are out.